What's good with you guys, man? It's Grind Life Productions back at it again with another video. I hope you guys been taking care of yourself, and I hope you guys have been protecting your peace of mind because, like I said previously, your mindset, well, a peace of mind is priceless, and money cannot buy that at all. Money cannot buy that at all because as I go out, as I go throughout this life, I'm starting to learn that every day we are at war spiritually. Now, we are at war in the physical. You already know that certain countries going at it for materialistic things, but we're not about to get into that, so I digress. But back to what I was saying previously, we are at war in the spiritual. So there is certain things that we are going through and it's causing us to doubt who we are, doubt what we're capable of, and what, well, doubt our actions as well. It's like we get to a certain point where we feel as though we need to second guess everything we've been doing, like every action that we took up until this point. You've probably been working towards something really important. You've probably been working on a big project that's been taking you a good majority of time, but out of nowhere you either get hit with a certain thought, you either get hit with a certain temptation, and it just ruins your whole flow because before that thought and before that temptation came, you were in a flow state. And in that flow state, you were not worried about what could go wrong. You were not worried about the negative implications. You were not worried about any of that because you were just laser focused. You were just laser focused. So you didn't care about any of that at all. All you cared about was the goal. But as soon as these things arise, you start to feel as though maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe I just need to do something else. No, no, that's what Satan wants. That's what Satan wants. And I'm starting to realize this. I know back in my past, I've done a lot of bad things. Some things I'm not really proud of. A lot of things I'm not proud of. I did it in my past. But I realized that that is not me. I just wasn't thinking at the time. I was not in my right mind. Yeah, I probably made the conscious decision to do those things, but deep down, did I really want to? No, no. So, how can I beat myself up so much over something that I knew that, well, over something that I know that just isn't me? That's something else taking over. And I want to talk about demonic possession. Demonic possession is the the demons taking over your mind, and it's pretty much feeding you, well, you're pretty much feeding into all the negative thoughts that pop up in your head. Now, we are faced with good thoughts and bad thoughts every day, but sometimes we may find ourselves giving too much attention to these negative thoughts, and that is when the demons take over. That is when the demons take over. But like I said in my previous video, we need to fight against these thoughts. And the only way we can fight against them is by going to God about it, leaving it with God. Leaving it with God. That's all we can do. Because we as humans, we will be tempted. We will be challenged on a day-to-day basis. But we cannot give up on the mission. We got to stay consistent. Bars. We cannot give up on the mission. We got to stay consistent. We have to. We have to, because once you break that cycle of consistency, you find yourself in a new area where you're starting over and you're starting over and you're starting over, and it never stops because you're not sticking to that one thing that you knew was right. One thing went wrong, so now you want to change the trajectory of your whole life just because of one thing. All it took was a simple fix. And I guarantee you, it was just because you were lazy and you didn't want to put in the work. And you want to know why I say this? I'm not saying this to come at you. I'm not saying this to bash you, because I go through it. I just went through it. I just went through it. I was just questioning if me still being in school was even worth it. I was just about to say, man, bump school. I don't want to do this no more. I was just about to say that, just because I felt like things weren't right in the moment. But I had to look over the the things that I've been doing up until this point, and I had to just think to myself, and I had to talk to myself about it. Now, let me tell you guys this. Talking to yourself, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. You don't need to go out and get the opinions from other people, because when you go out and get the opinions from other people, they are just telling you things that you want to hear. You going out to them so somebody can tell you something that you want to hear, but you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth, because I guarantee you, as soon as somebody tells you the truth, you're going to be defensive. You're going to go against it because you didn't want to hear that, but you knew that was the thing that you needed to hear. You knew that was the information that you really need to take in. That was the information that you really needed to absorb. You knew. You know, you already know what you got to do. You just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it because you're probably scared. You're probably scared of the consequences. You're probably scared of what other people might say. But what is the point of being afraid? What is the point of being afraid? You do yourself this, how do you say it? This disservice. Yes, you do yourself a disservice by not being real with yourself. You do yourself a disservice by putting yourself in situations that you know you should not be in. You do yourself a disservice by not listening to yourself. Now, some of the decisions that you have to make, it may be harsh because you might feel like you're hurting the other person's feelings, but honestly, you gotta think about you. Sometimes you gotta be selfish. Sometimes you gotta be selfish. Sometimes you just can't get caught up in the mindset of, oh man, what if this person starts acting different? Who cares if they act different? You got yourself situation. You got yourself situated. You got yourself out of that predicament. Who cares what they think? It's all about you at the end of the day. It's all about you. Now, I'm not saying that you're better than other people, but you're most definitely not beneath them. The only person higher than every human being on this planet is God, and God Himself, Jesus Christ. That's who I believe. I don't know who you believe in, but I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. And He has came through for me multiple times. Time again. When I was in sticky situations and I just didn't know what to do and I felt like I was going to fold, I just said, I plead the blood. And somehow the situation gets resolved. Miraculously, it gets resolved. All because I put forth the effort of wanting to get out of that situation. If you want to get out of it, then you will get out of it, but you have to show it. You really have to want it. You really got to pray. You really have to pray. You really have to try. You have to make the attempt. You have to make the attempt. Don't just be out here feeling sorry for yourself, because I tell you this, if you feeling sorry for yourself, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. So what's the point? What's the point of feeling sorry for ourselves when nobody's going to feel sorry for us? Especially if you're a man. Especially if you're a man. If you want to give up on yourself, then hey, that's your choice. That's your choice, because it's your life at the end of the day. You're not affecting nobody. You're not affecting nobody with the decisions that you make. If it's a crazy decision, the only people you are affecting is yourself, your family who believe in you, and that's pretty much it. But the world's not going to stop moving just because you're not feeling up to it. No, that's not how it is. That's not how it is. Sometimes we gotta struggle. Sometimes we gotta go through the fight. But the only thing, important thing is, we just can't quit. We just can't quit. And that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants us to quit. He wants us to give up. He wants us to destroy ourselves. That's how he gains pleasure. He wants us to turn to the dark side, but we can't let him get that. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? We cannot let him get that. No matter how tough it gets, no matter how hard it gets, I don't care if you lose every single person in your family. You still can't let him win because you're still alive. So obviously, God has a purpose for you. And you may not even believe in God. You may not even believe in God. But I just want to tell you, don't end it all just because certain things are not going right. Because I tell you this, better days always come. They always come. They always come. Yeah, things may be rough in the moment. Yeah, things may be tough in the moment. But the better days always pull up. I can always count on that. I know it ain't going to be bad forever. Sometimes the rain has to let up. Sometimes the rain has to let up. It's not going to rain forever. It's not going to be thundering and cloudy forever. The sun is going to come back out. And you want to know how I know this? Because it happened multiple times before. The sun was just out today. The sun was just out today. So if it was out today, most likely it's going to be out tomorrow. And even if it is cloudy, it'll be out the next day. And even if it's cloudy that day, it'll be out the day after that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you really recognize how things go in this life, you just have to move a certain way. When you realize Satan's tactics to bring you down, you just have to move a certain way. Keep God, keep the light in your sight. Keep sight, bro. Have God on your mind at all times, because if you have God on your mind, you're not going to make crazy decisions. You're not going to fall into lust. You're not going to, well, I'm not going to say you're not going to be tempted, because you will be tempted. But if you have God on your mind and you really make that decision, you could shut it all down right then and there. You don't even have to drag it out. You don't even have to drag it out. All you got to do is say, nah, I'm living for God. And then boom, it's automatically settled. And I promise you, the only type of regret that you may face is what you think could happen if you actually would have went through that. But deep down, you know it's not worth it. You know it's not worth it. So why even give it the attention and energy? That's what I'm saying. Keep God in your sight at all times. Keep God on your mind at all times. Because when you lose sight of God, you fall into that low vibrational state. And when you in that low vibrational state, following Satan's orders, following the dark side, it becomes reasonable. It becomes reasonable. But I'm telling you, as soon as you start thinking about Jesus and as soon as you start thinking about God, all that just fades away. All that fades away. I'm telling you, just don't give up. You got to endure the pain. You have to endure the pain. And you can do it. You can do it. Plenty of people have done it before. So what makes you different? And don't you say, oh, I just don't feel like I can. No. Why would you say that? Why would you bring yourself down like that? When you know that you can bring yourself up, why would you do that to yourself? Don't limit yourself, because I'm telling you, your words are power. If you say you don't feel like you can do it, then you will not do it. But I promise you, if you say that you feel like you can do it, then you will do it. Straight up, you will. You will. And you want to know why? Because you have to. If you say you feel like you can, then you will. It's just going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but you're going to find a way. You're going to figure out a way. All you have to do is map it out and trap it out. Put the puzzles together. Put the pieces to the puzzle together, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be A-okay. The devil don't like to see that. The devil don't like to see that. He wants you to give up. He don't want you to be great. He don't want you to be great. He wants you to fall back into those bad habits. He wants you to fall back into the weed. He wants you to fall back into the alcohol. He don't want you to face your problems head on, being sober in your right mind. That's not what he wants. He wants you to just take the load off. He wants you to just chill out. knowing that these problems not going to go away, but you get the temporary escape. He wants you to mess with those females that's no good for you. That's what he wants, but you can't give it to him. You got to stay focused on the mission, especially if you're man. You got to stay focused on the mission. Matter of fact, not even especially if you're a man, because I'm pretty sure all men watch this channel. All men watch this channel. If you want semen retention, you got to stay focused on the mission. That's your only outlet. That's your only outlet. You gotta be on a go at all times. Until that is your definite mindset, even when you're not on retention, you gotta be on a go. Gotta be on a go. But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk to you guys and just talk to you guys about just like fighting off Satan, because he just wants you to destroy yourself. He don't want you to win. He don't want you to stay true to your goals. He don't want you to stay true to what you got going on, because he know that you're going to be a problem. He know that you're going to be a problem. I promise you, if you keep God on your side, if you keep God on your mind, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. Just keep on trying. Keep on making attempts. It don't got to be perfect, but as long as you make the attempt, as long as you try, as long as you do your best, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. Just stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. I don't care. Stop doubting yourself. I don't care how many people watch this video. As long as one person get the message, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. And even if nobody gets the message, I'm happy that I'm able to speak my mind on here, because I play my videos back to myself and I get motivated. That I was just listening to one of my TikTok videos and I instantly cheered up. I instantly cheered up because I have to speak life back into myself. Sometimes you need to speak life into yourself. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Bring yourself up. Bring your soul up. Bring your spirit up. Satan wants to bring you down, so you got to bring yourself up. You got to bring yourself up. The only way to bring yourself up is to speak life into yourself. Get back focused on God. Hop into that godly frequency. That's what you got to do. Choose God every day. Choose God every day. Easier said than done, but I promise you, you will be rewarded if you choose God every day. That's all it is. That's all it is. But yeah, with that being said, this has been Grind Life Productions, and we signing out. Peace. Yeah, peace.